right, you guys, standard 8, transversals and parallel lines, learning target number 3. I can apply my knowledge of standard 7 and 8 in order to determine the measures of missing angles. Okay, this is called an angle chase, this huge picture here. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the value of every angle A through V that they tell us to, okay? Now, we're going to have to be patient with this. We might have to find extra angles, which could be a little annoying. But in the end, we will find all of these angles. Here's how you do it. The first thing you're going to do is look for an angle measure that you know. Also, you're going to want to write all over this thing, okay? Some people don't like to write on it. They just like to fill in the answers down here. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. You want your numbers to be up in the picture as well. So I'm going to find something that I know. Let's see. These 3 or those 4 lines are all parallel. That's good to know. Okay, so here we go. The degree that pops out to me the most is 108. I don't know why. It just does. Also, a tip for these is to not go through these in alphabetical order. That's just, don't do it. 108. If I know that angle is 108, I know that C is 108. Okay, I found my first one. I also know what D is because C and D add to 180. So 180 minus 108 is 72. Look, we already have our second. D is 72. Now, this angle I don't actually have a variable by, but I'm going to label it anyway. The vertical angle to D is also 72 because vertical angles are congruent. Now, this is where it comes in handy that L1, 2, 3, and 4 are parallel. Because if they are parallel, that means that they have been cut by the same transversal right here, which means if you were to trace this section and slide it down, you'd be able to find all of the angles all up the row. For example, F is 108. This is 72. This is 108. And E is 72. You guys, we're making a lot of progress. If you keep sliding it up, this is 108. This is 72. This is 108. And that is 72. If you keep sliding it up, J is 108. This guy is 72. This guy is 108. And I is 72. You guys just knocked out a ton of the answers. Okay. Now, I also see over here this guy, this lonely 61. And they want me to figure out what V is, but I can't say that V is 108 like this guy because 4 and 5 are not parallel. These lines are not parallel. How else could I find V? Well, this angle here and this angle are supplementary, which means they add to 180. So 180 minus 61, V is 119. Alrighty, let's start moving over to the left here. I see this 169. It's just sitting here. If that's 169, the vertical angle is also 169 degrees. But I don't need that. I need this B. I need this guy. Well, that's a straight line, people. Which means that 169 and B are supplementary. They add to 180. So I'm going to go 180 minus 169. And now I know that B is 11 degrees. Okie dokie. Let's keep it moving. Can we figure out what A is? Why, yes, I think we can, because these two are supplementary. So that means they add to 180. So I'm going to go 180 minus 75, and I get that A is 105 degrees. How do they want me to get R and Q? Oh, I think I know. I can't get R right away, you guys, but do you see this triangle right here? I know two of the angles. One is 105 and one is 11. If I can figure out this angle, I know that I have R because they're equal because they're vertical angles. Well, what do I know about angles in a triangle? I know that they all add up to 180. So 105 plus 11 plus what is 180? I used my calculator and I got 64 degrees, which means I have R is also 64 degrees, which means I can figure out Q because, oops, maybe I can't. Just kidding. Because these two are supplementary, so Q is 116 degrees. Interesting. Okay. How do I figure out S? Ooh, S is tricky, you guys. Watch this. This is good stuff. Do you guys see this humongous triangle? And we know two of the angles. We know that angle B is 11, and we know that that angle is 90 degrees, don't we? So if we know those two angles, we can figure out what S is because all the angles need to add to 180. So I did 180 minus 90 minus 11, and I get that S is 79 degrees, which is really helpful because now that I have S, I can find U because those are supplementary. And I get 101 degrees. And T, might as well. T's not bad. T and this angle are supplementary. So they add to 180. So if one of them's 90, the other has to be, you guessed it, 90 degrees. All right. I see 4 more variables. I know what N is. N is 64 degrees. I can figure out what P is because P and 64 are supplementary. It's 116. I know that these two lines, remember, they're parallel, so you can do the tracing thing. So if you know, so this is 64, this is 116, and this is 64. So then what's M? Oh yeah, it's a vertical angle to 116. That is how you do an angle chase. Now what you have to do is find all of the answers that up in, like all the variables up here, and transfer them into this handy dandy little table. The next one I'm going to get you started on, but I'm not going to finish it for you. And then the third one you're going to have to do on your own. Oh man, this is good. All right, where do I start? Where should I start? I only see 55 degrees. Well, 55 degrees is equal to this one. So that means that this is 55 degrees, right? Which means I can find A because A plus 55 plus 55 has to be 180 because that's a triangle. A is 70 and is congruent to this one here. Okie dokie. I can figure out what M is. $125. Oh, this is going to help a lot. I know my next move. This is the last move I'm going to do with you guys, and then I think you're going to be on your own. We'll see what happens. This is a straight line, which means that this angle, and this angle equal 180. So 180 minus 70 minus 70, it's 40 degrees. Let's see, what else do we have? Well, this set of angles here, like these, are the same as these, right? So that's going to be my next hint. And from there on out, you guys are on your own. Have fun. I have faith in you. When you're done with it, check your answers. Go ahead and do the last page. Check your answers. If you need hints, your teacher will be happy to help you.